Namaste, namaskaram, wherever you are. This is your host Pavana, and you are listening to Culture Speak. Specifically, Culture Speak's new sub series, The Wake Up Call. In The Wake Up Call, we'll have 3 to 4 minutes long mini episodes where I tell you the harsh truths that I have learned from living my life. They've been hard to come to terms with, but I was better off accepting them than continuing to delude myself. So here begins The Wake Up Call. For the first chapter of this series, today we have Chasing Dreams When Letting Go is Not Giving Up. We have all been sold the idea that if we work hard enough, our dreams will become a reality. If you just set your mind on something and just relentlessly work towards it with commitment and perseverance, you are bound to achieve all of your dreams. This is what we've been sold. What happens when you do all of this? And then, despite our best efforts, things don't go as planned. You don't get what you want. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, your dreams may still remain way out of reach. It has happened to me. See, one of the mixed blessings about being young is the conviction that the future always repeats the past. As though life was one big disco ball made of sparkly mirrors, with everything mirroring each other and with no scope for anything uniquely new happening. We think it has always happened this way. Why would the future be any different? I have always succeeded, so why wouldn't I succeed again? And so I went on dream picking journeys with an excessive reliance on the patterns life has so far shown to me. But things fall apart. The center can't hold. We're all working towards something or the other. Like I read somewhere, most of us are doing things for the sake of doing it, and few of us do things for the pleasure of it. We're always so steadfastly working towards our dreams and ambitions, we don't realize it when it is doing us harm instead of help. We hear too much about that one movie star who finally had a breakthrough after 30, 40 years, and that one student who came first despite all odds, and as a cherry on top, that too on their final attempt. And our thinking gets so clouded that we forget about the crores of people who never made it, because who wants to hear that? I want to explain to you, and in the process, perhaps to myself, that knowing when to stop, knowing when to let go and move on is a skill. It is an art. You see, success often depends on factors beyond an individual's control. Luck, timing, networking, systemic barriers. The starting points that each of us get. For every success story, there are countless unseen struggles, rejections, and setbacks that are not publicly talked about. For every student that topped an exam, or for every movie star that finally made it, or for every successful startup, there are hundreds and millions of them who failed. Success in itself is subjective, and often we end up feeling beaten and defeated because we subscribe to the world's idea of success. We've not sat down and weighed our values and priorities to come up with our personal definitions of success. Sometimes you need to move on, detach yourself from this dream you've assigned for yourself, and then be willing to be open to new possibilities. Of course, letting go of a dream can be a very difficult decision, and many people will try to convince you that you are giving up. But I'm here to tell you that there is a difference between giving up and moving on. Giving up is often driven by frustration, fear, and exhaustion. Moving on too can be driven by frustration and exhaustion, but the difference is that moving on is a deliberate choice to move on from something that is causing you more harm than favor. I have recently come to realize that my worth is not tied to achieving a specific dream. Breaking news. But I've been conditioned to believe that if I work hard enough, I will succeed. But like I said, the harsh truth is that there are so many factors outside of our control that can affect the outcome of our endeavors. Anyway, if you're struggling to decide whether to hold on or to let go of that one dream, ask yourself these 3 questions. Have I done my part? Do I feel a sense of completion? Am I at peace with the decision to move on? If the answer is yes to all of this, then it's time to let go. It's okay to let go. And remember, please, that moving on does not mean you have failed. It means you're acknowledging that some things are outside of your control. It means having enough foresight to make a decision that is in your best interests. When you're no longer as optimistic as you once were, you're still not consumed by cynical thoughts. Remember that this is growth. You are embracing the full spectrum of being human. So that is it for this week's wake up call. I hope you find value in this new podcast series. I'll see you next time.